Yes, this is Bob Hammer. I am adding some audio to a movie that was on 8mm, produced or made by Andrew Steckley in 1951. The arena was owned by my dad. He bought it after the war in '45. It was filled with lamp black that had been used for blackening tires in Kitchener, and it was an awful mess that we cleaned out of there. We were black for a long time. Wouldn't even let us into the hotel for a beer. They brought it out onto the back, onto the yard out the back. We were black and a mess. Anyways, to make ice at that time, that's yours truly, Bob, myself in the goal. These were children from the public school in the afternoon, having a skate, playing hockey. To produce ice in the arena, it didn't have a concrete floor. It had a dirt floor, and you hauled in snow to fill up the low spots. You flooded with a hose till you got a couple of inches on there, smooth enough, and then pulled little carts, a barrel, a 45-gallon drum with a drop-down pipe with little holes drilled into it, and it dribbled the ice, water onto the ice. Those are the Zambonis of the day. Shovels. My kid brother George always got the middle one, so there I am using the big shovel. That was a man killer, that one. Anyways, George always is in the front, so the other two pushers helped him to push it along. The rink was a very popular place. Had skating probably Wednesday nights, Saturday nights. People would come with cutters or even walk. People from Northeast Oak like George Linder, John Cook, people from up Bamberg, Quails and Heipels walked in or else hitched the horse and the cutter. Girls wore skirts at that time, but you see some of them were wearing things I believe we call snow pants, which was, I guess, an improvement when you're playing hockey. 1 week or 2 weeks, when there was a real cold snap during winter vacation, I was home. I flooded constantly. About every hour, set the alarm clock, and get up and put another layer on. Never took my skates off for a complete week. Took the car up home on Queen Street for breakfast, lunch, etc. But that's the way it was, and that was necessary. Had some carnivals, and they drew lots of contestants. Had hockey teams, and here's some skating. That was my dad and my Aunt Helen. I'm going to put on an old record, and it's called Sugar Blues. This is one that was played, the original record that we used back in the 40s. Some of the people going by, familiar. There is Dean Martin and Mary Dure. There's my dad and my Aunt Helen again. Elmer and Esther Wagner. Jake Lichty and Lorna Martin. Lorna Martin at that time. Geraldine Burst, in full view. There's Gina and Mary again. It really cut up the ice, and a lot of snow to remove when there was a crowd like that, particularly if the weather wasn't real cold. So round and round they go. Oh, there's John Heipel and Edgar Rose. Oh, Royal Quail. Just recognizing a few of them as they go by. Bystanders standing at the doorway. Elmer and Esther again. Oh, there's Moe's Lease. Used to work at the hardware store, Tinsmith. Anyways, served hot dogs. There's Moe's again. And I think they were 15 cents or 25 cents. Soft drinks, a nickel or a dime. I think skating was either 10 cents or... There's my dad and mom standing at the boards. Mom didn't skate anymore at this time, but my dad sure did. There he goes. Oh, there's a tumble. Oh, he cut his pants. This was the executive of the hockey team. I think that's Art Reiner on the right, Joe Logo with the checkered shirt. Third and left is Ed Rollo, and the third from the left is yours. The left right now is myself. I think Bob Warren and perhaps Walter Yancey. We had a famous hockey team because the New Hamburg Arena had burned, and we inherited players from New Hamburg, and we also had players from Linwood. George Jones was our goalie. Players from Wellesley were people like Harold Lease, Sam Stroh. I'm trying to see these people from memory. People from Linwood, like Stan Deckert, his brother Ken, as well as George Jones. From New Hamburg we had like Jack Pearson, Ernie Dick, Triple Dick as we call him, Rod Clausen, Mickey Rote. Anyways, the equipment was minimum. I'm sure we had some gloves. Oh, there's my 1928 Buick. I acquired this from Harry Stroh, had been Ted Lichty's car. Used it to go to university in Toronto every weekend. Took 3 hours down to Toronto. This is the backyard at Queen Street. That is the Fellowship or Memorial Hall back on Henry Street. There's a house on that lot now. This was my dad, Ronald Hammer, and my brother Frank walking there. My mother Lillian, and my brother George. That's myself with the pipe. I even smoked that pipe in the goal, as you may have noticed. And the neighbor's children, the blonde girl was Joanne Wagner, and the boy, a friend of George's, Paul Wagner. There were no indoor plumbing at this time, and we had a garage behind the house and an outhouse behind the garage, and also a little building that you're going to see in a minute or two, where kept rabbits, pigeons. Even a year or two before that, we had a cow. Used to make our own butter and ice cream. I had been at Teachers College, and I was taking phys ed, so that's why you see some of the tucks and rollovers I was showing them how to do. I believe that was Tippy, our little dog. I remember, I think, having to bury that one for some reason or other. And that's George's pet rabbit. So, it brings back some memories, and hoping that this audio will help to let people know in the future. There's my friend Albert and Art Steckley standing at